Yo, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Knowledge and Relationships. This is your boy M3, and I got the homie, the sophisticated jerk that's in the building.
What's going on, man? How you doing today?
Pretty good, sophisticated jerk. First and foremost, thank you for joining the panel. So definitely appreciate that for sure, And yeah, I'm looking forward, man, to dive in this topic, man, about pretty much community respect.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I think this is a great topic, man. What kind of brought you to bring this up? What was the precursor for this topic?
Oh man, that's a good question. I'm glad that you asked too because I was watching like a video, man, from O'Shea Dude Jackson. Shout outs to him, and he was doing a video reaction from this podcaster named Corey Holcomb, and Corey Holcomb was pretty much giving praise to Cameron because Cameron had Cameron, he's a rapper, but he used a certain reference, you know, that was talking about pretty much like building each other up. And Corey Holcomb's message basically was all about, look, there's no competition when it comes to men. You know what I mean? Like, or just people, period. Like, man, what we need to do, we need to come together. Oh, look like we lost them. But I got some other people up here too, though, so I'm gonna bring them up real quick. So without further ado, let me go ahead and bring Stan, and let me go bring Miss Ruby Doll.
Hey, what's
Ruby,
up,
what's
everybody?
up? How you doing?
Hey, what's
I'm-
up?
Hey, what's up, everybody? What's up, fam? How's everybody doing?
Hey, what's up,
pretty
Ruby?
good.
Doing
Yeah.
pretty good.
About that, my StreamYard kicked me out. How y'all doing?
Excelente. Thank you very much. What's up to the panel? Hey, everybody.
Hey.
I just
Salute,
got back
salute.
from picking up my kids from school, so I'm just trying to decompress. And I am so about the topic today. I'm very big on community, and so thank you for excusing my tardiness.
No, you good. You know, I just appreciate your presence.
Hey.
Loose and sophisticated jerk. So
Yeah, hey, what's up? What's up, y'all? What are we talking about?
man, so we're talking about pretty much ways, solutions, how to get how to win the community over. And again, the community doesn't always have to be about like race, or gender specific.
Mhm.
It's basically who you decide to serve.
Okay.
And so sophisticated jerk was asking me pretty much what was the inspiration for this topic.
Okay.
Ruby, I think you have an echo on your end.
Oh, I have an echo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my bad.
You might have the YouTube running, but that's what it sounds like. But no, you good though. And so I was telling him, man, I was watching like this YouTuber who was doing a reaction about these two YouTubers now, Cameron, who did music with Puff Daddy back in the day, and Corey Holcomb. I think he was a comedian, but now they're podcasters. And so each like those two was pretty much bigging each other up. And Corey Holcomb had a message about like, yo, like when it comes to like this YouTube space or any space like this, man, just big them up. Like, there's no need for a competition. There's no need to tear nobody down. Like, why can't we work together? And then, what really made me want to say, hey, man, like, forget it. Let's do this. Shout outs to B-Eazy Dat Dude, right? He is definitely a highly intellectual, okay? Because
Hey, most def. Shout out B-Eazy. What's up,
Yeah,
B-Eazy?
shout out to B-Eazy. I was
Yeah.
telling somebody about him. I said he's probably one of the most intellectual people in this space, man. Real talk.
shit. I second that. I mean, I think he's intellectual, period. I'm not going to compare him to anybody, okay? Because we all intellectual up in here.
Yeah. But I had to give him that special shout out real quick. Oh, we got somebody else in the building too.
Okay.
Is that Sister Ion? But I can't see her face real quick. Hold on. As soon as it clears up, I'm gonna bring her in. But or what I could do, hold on, let me do this real quick. This is why we have like the overlay. So let me put the overlay up here. I got you, Sister I am. So hold on, give me about a second, all right, just to make sure it's really you. Okay, is this Sister I am?
Yes, you can't see me?
No, I can't. Well, let me try this now.
Wait,
Streamer has been having some issues.
no,
Now
the camera's in.
I can't see you at the moment. It's like a blank screen, but I can hear your voice.
I can't see myself either. I'm sorry. Let me try to fix it.
Okay, you may have to come out and then come back in. That's probably what you have to do. Okay, but we got you, sis. Okay, at least I can see your avatar. Shout out to Daryl Long. Thank you for tuning in, bro. Appreciate it. But yeah. So as I was finishing the story, right? So B-Eazy was had 2 posts out there in the story, and I'm gonna play that in just a second. So in one of the posts, he had like a bunch of people that was looked like they were serving like for like Thanksgiving, and then the other post, there was a bunch of people that was helping out the homeless, finding shelter in certain hotel rooms. So at that point, it just brought back a lot of memories, like a lot of things that I'm like, man, what we could really do as people. But I know in this space, we usually talk about the same things, like relationships. We talk about what the man wants, what the woman wants. And it's good to have those type of conversations to keep the, the flow going. But at the same time, I'm like, look, what is the community asking for? What could we do as people to show the community our care, our love? I'm gonna try to bring Sister I am. Okay, I still can't see you, Sister I am, but I don't know. It's probably like a StreamYard issue, or maybe the camera issue. I'm not really for sure. But can you hear me?
I'll hop back in the comments.
But no. Actually, I would like to hear your voice though. I mean, even if you're in avatar mode for the time being, it's okay. I appreciate you for coming up here. Oh no, now I can see you.
You can?
Yeah, we can see you now.
All right, cool.
Hi everybody.
Queen?
Sorry about that.
Nah, you good.
You good?
Shout out to everyone.
Thank you. Shout out to you as well too. Thank you for coming up. We definitely appreciate it.
Absolutely. So we're talking about solutions?
Yeah, so basically the topic is, community respect. In other words, earning community respect, key strategies for making lasting impact for your community. Like what ways can you do, right, to pretty much be the person to leave like a loving imprint for your community. So we're gonna dive into that in just a minute. I'm gonna play a video real quick, and I'm gonna just show you a couple of things if you guys don't mind.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Okay, cool. And excuse me, hopefully I wasn't talking too fast or whatever. So
You doing good?
You're good.
Cool. All right, cool.
Excuse me, I'm just a little hungry, so I'm having a snack. I don't mean to be rude.
I was about to ask you what you eating over there.
I want some.
They're sea salt caramel pecans.
Mm-hmm.
It's a local, made locally.
Oh, okay.
Very
You getting money over there. I
delicious.
see that.
What is that?
I said you getting money over there eating pecans and stuff. That's a delicacy over here.
I have a sweet tooth. I like nice things. I like the
Okay.
finer things, but it doesn't have to be expensive. I just like, anyway, I don't mean to be talking about, but pecans, but I wish I could share these. These are very good. Thank you. My bad, M3.
M3, like,
No, you good though, I might have to make a drive out there so you get some of those pecans,
Come on, you're welcome anytime. Oh,
Yeah. All right, let me go ahead and play this video for you guys. Again, shout out to B-Eazy because I did a screen recorder from the story, so salute to the brother. If it's a double bed, you said double bed too?
My name is No, they're taking it.
Okay. Were you guys able to see it?
Yeah, I was able to see
Yeah.
it.
Can I say something real quick?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Shoot, poke holes in this, will you? But I feel some type of way to when things like that are being broadcasted, when acts of
Okay.
giving are even videotaped. I don't like it. It doesn't sit
Mm,
well in my soul because as a person who has been in that exact spot, the last thing I want is some camera in my face.
right.
It's just not. And then so it's like it makes me think like what's the intention behind this? Is it to look like the good Samaritan? Is it for your publicity stunts? I just get that cynical automatic. Am I tripping, y'all?
Yeah, you're tripping a
No.
little bit. I'm triggered by your statement. No, no, no. I like what you're saying because I can
Mhm.
see that aspect, but I also think like you do need to bring awareness sometimes. So, for example, B-Eazy was sharing this material. So if nobody would have recorded it, we wouldn't be talking about these type of things. And I think sometimes you do need to highlight these acts, to kind of let people know, like, hey, we could need some support. Because a lot of these foundations and charities and stuff, they're operated on like limited dollars and stuff. So, for example, like I try to donate to a lot of people, but it's just like, do your daily life, you're busy, you got your family to attend to, you're not, you can't seek out a lot of these different opportunities you might want to like help support. So it does take sometimes like somebody like
Well,
flashing that light on them to bring it to your attention.
okay, thank you. No, please poke holes in it. Shout out to Be Easy. This has nothing to do with anybody posting something out of just creating
Yeah.
awareness, because creating awareness is what I think we all do in our way. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, it just reminds me of those kids in Africa with fucking flies everywhere in their eyes. And there's a Sarah McLaughlin song. And it's just like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is the
Shout out to
intention
Sarah.
on some real stuff? Is it to evoke this emotion, this human emotion for me to give? Is it? If it's meant for that, then say that. I feel like if you could do different things to create awareness. You don't even have to videotape that. You can actually videotape the goods that you, maybe just like the donations, like, hey, we got all this stuff. We're going to disperse this amongst how many families? Our goal is to hit 500 families. You feel me?
Okay,
Do
I
we need
got
to
you.
see those 500 families? I don't think so.
No, I like what you
Okay.
said because like when you put the visual of the kid like with the flies in the face, and yeah, I agree with you on that. It's like, yeah, you ain't got to put the kid on blast. Like just just show the good deeds. Like, okay, I got you on that. I agree with that.
And then come to
Right.
find out they were lying.
Oh, they were lying.
Yeah.
Mm, okay. It definitely got me in the back of the day. Yeah, I threw some coins at that.
Well, I'm just trying to come at this in all different levels because I think we all want to do good, but I think that sometimes we need to be careful because in that desire to be good and to do good, you might be doing some harm. You might really like negate the whole thing. So, yeah, the intention is to serve the community. And I think as community leaders, our minds just go that way. But now we have to ask ourselves questions like, what's the most effective way to get the best impact? You know what I'm saying? What's the results from this?
Okay. Okay. Well,
Can I add
before I
something to
give
this?
my, yeah, go ahead, Stan.
All right, I work in the nonprofit sector, so you have to do it this way because one, it shows what you've been doing with the funding to the people who donated the money, and then two, it requires more people to give. So it just brings in more people to give. It has changed in a sense where they are like making sure they show like the back end of the people they serve, so you don't know who it is, and then they will ask somebody from that community to be the spokesperson. So I was one of the spokesperson when I was a kid because my family was homeless, and I was one of those kids who got a chance to speak and talk for the agency. And then I work in that field later on after I graduated from college. So I saw the other end of it, and it does benefit, one, the organization, and then two, the community, because you can't only rely on private donations in the sense of what's going on in your own community. You got to go to other private donors who are super rich, who don't have time to come to anybody's neighborhoods and who won't. So they need to see where the money is going to and who's benefiting from it, and also how like it was a positive impact, so they'll donate more later.
Hey, I get that. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
like, I'm just trying to be very critical when it comes to the human experience, because let's be real, we tend to do things for selfish gain. I want to be, let's say I don't know. Let's say I want to be the
No,
amazing
I agree with
podcast.
you.
No, I'm serious. So I'm just saying, as we discuss these things and as we think as leaders and as people that have the ability to manifest, we do need to check our intentions first. I think that servitude in any capacity is always a good idea. It's one of my love languages, and it's many of yours too. You know what it is. It feels good. It feels good, and I think the give is in the get. Maybe I have like maybe there's a point, maybe I just feel that type of way because, um, okay, here's a story for y'all. Okay. I was dating a gentleman. We had an amazing weekend. We had some leftover food, right? So this gentleman asked me to videotape him giving the food to a gentleman that was living out in the street. I did not like that. I thought that was weird. And I didn't do it. And he was kind of looking at me like, damn, why aren't you supporting me? Like, this is good. We're supposed to be doing this. Yeah, motherfucker, I don't want you to videotape it though. Like, what are you like? You know what
Yeah,
I'm
on that
saying?
part, like when you're trying to get points, you're trying to get points and awareness. On that part, that is like a jerk level move.
And I don't know if my angst for this human experience is derived from that on some real shit. Because we're I don't know, we're influenced by things. Maybe it's because I have some of my family members have demonstrated shit like that. I didn't like that. So, anyways, on the positive, I think servitude is best. You're right. In-kind donations, you have to show where those things are going. I get it. But it's like, can we do it in a more humane way rather than, hey, make it all about the giver? You feel me?
Yeah, and I think that's a good point because I think
Yeah,
like what Stan is talking about is like you're kind of showing the whole operation versus like Ruby, what you're saying, like this dude wanted to get it popping on like IG. He was trying to like he was trying to get some clips out there, he's trying to get some Facebook clips and stuff. So yeah, I agree with you on that.
Not
Yeah,
cool.
that's kind of weird. So did you take that picture for him and all that?
Oh no. It's one of the things I love about this person right here is I fucks with me. Okay. I know what time it is with this person right here. And it's because I've experienced a lot of like tears, a lot of heartbreak from the human experience where it's like, I'm not gonna be like that. That hurt me. I'm gonna be this other way. We're gonna alchemize something. So anyway, I'm not always in the mood to be serviceable either. But I think that as a community, because it all affects us, if we can create ideas on how you can help, I can help, we can bring our talents together to help. So it don't take too much from us either. You feel me?
Yeah. Stan, can I ask you a question? So when you were the spokesperson, sorry about that,
yeah.
M3. I mean,
Uh,
I just wanted to ask him because I know he was talking about like you were the spokesperson. Did they come around and like ask for like people to kind of step up, or how did that play out?
I've met Steve Young and took a picture. It was around Christmas time. It was
49er
the
Steve
program
Young?
was Hamilton. Yeah, yeah. It was Hamilton Family Center. It was in San Francisco, and I got a chance to speak in front of camera
That's what's
and
up.
just talk about like just a thank you and what was needed. And it was just a family shelter, and it was like the teens and the kids were there, and we just talked. And but they respectfully didn't put our face on because we're underage. but you can hear the
Mm.
voice, and it brought in more awareness and money for the organization. And then I went on to, man, I'm telling you, like, I got a chance to speak to so many rich people, and dude, like, you'd be amazed how much people donate. One time I worked for this organization for teens, for homeless teens, and we were building a new building, and it was I went to Napa Valley to somebody's vineyard, and I got a chance to give a speech, and we brought in on that speech alone $2 million. So
Stand the money man
you'll
out
be
here.
amazed.
Well, there are also tremendous write-offs as well.
But I'm also dropping the bag when it comes to dating the rich.
Hey.
So
Again, from that cynical approach, there's also a bunch of write-offs. It's like it would behoove them to write a check to this organization than to pay taxes on it anyway. So I'm just saying, like, yes, if and
yeah,
and you
but
know
here's
what?
the thing, right?
What? What's that?
But here's the thing: why not put that check for that community? Because if you're advocating for that community, why not advocate and put it out there? I only went in because I know what it meant to be a teenager and be homeless. And then I graduated from college. I went back to nonprofit, and I went in with that heart of like, look, we have this issue and we need this help. I also spoke for kids who emancipated out of foster care and who were homeless. Now, mind you, they didn't have a program back in the day. Like once you turn 18 in foster care, they put you in a shelter. You didn't go on to either go to the military or the shelter. There was no other services for that. I was one of the people that got a chance to speak at Sacramento and talk, to people over there in the Capitol and like, hey, we need this help, we need this funding, and work at an agency that was doing it. So I see the benefit of it. We do have to separate a lot of times. I understand the angst and the feelings, but guess what? A lot of times people live their day-to-day life, and there are so many needs, and you do have to advocate for those needs because they can give their money to somewhere else, and a lot of time agencies are not actually putting the work for the communities. I'm proud that I got a chance to work for agencies that actually done the work for the community. It's just one of those things you have to do because if you're going to depend on government funding, good luck.
Yeah, let me say something, Stan,
It's
real
not going
quick.
to be pretty.
Hmm. So, I know I kind of went in and out for a little bit, right? So I missed a certain portion of it, but I do want to talk about those things because it is like a catch-22. Like it's like sometimes like it's not necessary to broadcast everything, but also it depends on your intent. Like Wonder Watt says, it sounds like results over the internet. I'm sorry, results over intent. If you're doing things like because like you're doing charitable work to try to, pay less taxes, then of course, yeah, you could. It makes you feel like a certain type of way. It does make you feel cynical because are you really doing it because you care for the community, or are you doing it because now you need some type of visual proof and or something that's on record saying that you did these things to avoid paying a certain amount, annually. You know what I mean? And then there's other people that are scammers that will literally use certain like ethnic groups or certain places that supposed to symbolize poverty, but then if you actually go to the place, they're not really impoverished as like you make it seem like they are. You just go to certain areas where maybe certain people are struggling just to try to get some type of profitable gain or some notice. And I know recently, I don't know if MTR did a video reaction, but there was actually a woman, I think she was a TikToker, and she said that, hey, look, I've done this, I've done that. I served the community and the church. And then when they asked for verification, because what they realized that according to the pictures that she was showing, those pictures was outdated from like 2020, like 2001, like 20 years, almost like over 20 years ago. But then you're telling people that you've been to those type of places, but you're just being fraudulent just for clout, just for some type of attention, you know. So it may not even be monetary gain. You just try to make yourself seem like you're the righteous one. So I understand where you come from, Ruby. Like, because sometimes I can feel a certain type of way when I'm looking at these people struggling, and then you're doing video reactions or you're doing like videos of you like hand out money to like the homeless, but then at the same time, you know, there are actually genuine good people that's out there that yes, you're doing, you know, certain videos, but then you know you also have an influence. And with your influence, whatever you do, charitable work, you could help motivate other people, right, to follow suit as well. So it's a good and it's a bad. It's just the way how we really perceive it as, and it just depends on the nature of the person.
Man, and shout out to Sophisticated Jerk who said that I must be balling over here on some real shit. I came
We see the
straight.
walnuts, pecans, whatever you eating over there.
But check this out. A year ago, almost a year ago to this time of year, my kids and I came out from a shelter. So we were in a shelter called Mary's Place. Shout out Mary's Place in Burien, Seattle, Washington. Okay. That place helped me and my kids. It helped me get out of a relationship and a situation that I just needed to. I couldn't even go to my family. So I am so about nonprofit. I'm about all that funding. Believe me, we can talk nonprofit off scene because it's one of my passions. But when I was there, I cried one of these days because I was so grateful in my heart. But these people were serving us expired food. Okay, I'm grateful to be here, but I ain't going to eat this expired ass food. I'm sorry, and I'm not going to sit here and complain either, but how much are you helping when you're literally dehumanizing us while you're trying to help us? You feel me? And it's kind of like, it's that human experience that makes me critical. It's like, no, I know you can check how much you can check pretty much nonprofit money, right? It's public record, right? So if I were to check on whatever's public record on how much they made in that fiscal year, you can afford some food. You know what I'm saying? So that those are things that kind of make me like, is it really, you know, donate to Red Cross? Red Cross what? Where's the money going? You believe in Red Cross? Then you should do some research, baby. That's what I'm saying. So as long as the heart matches the mission, I'm all for it.
So can I ask you and Stan, since y'all were like recipients of this, what do y'all think is better? Because I did what you're saying, Ruby. I saw one article where, you know, like on some of those like nonprofits, it's like 75% operating costs. So it's like if you give them $1, you know, 75% is going back to, you know, like their, I say the leadership structure and all that. Put money in people's hands versus like maybe a organization.
I think it's best to invest in maybe even a group investment in which you can provide either sustainable housing or a way to help someone stay fed. You don't just give somebody $1 and be about your way and think that you did Jesus work. You know what I'm saying? Like what is $1? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like if you really have it in your heart to help people, really put your money where it can have an influence and where you can check to see like how does this help, whether it's in a local foster home where you can actually see those kids benefiting from those nice clothes.
Oh, okay. I appreciate that. Yeah, because I think sometimes, you know, people have a good heart, so they're just like, hey, I do want to contribute, but like you said, what you guys are saying, it makes sense because like you said, like some of these like group homes and stuff like that. It sounds like we need to be putting more money into things like that.
Wait, real quick, guys. Just want to check on 100 watts. 100 watts. Okay, cool. Salute, my brother.
It's good. 100.
Pretty good, man.
In list, I've been intrigued by this conversation because I mean, I've been somebody that's been in a situation where I had to go to a shelter for a while, and made my way out of that and all that. But what I find to be intriguing about like determining where I put my money into is, like I said, the results versus intent. A lot of these organizations, they'll promote, hey, we raised $7 million this year for homeless people. They'll promote how much money they raise, but they won't promote the fact, hey, we raised this money and we got 1,300 people in apartments. We have this many homes that we've gotten approved. This many families we've gotten approved into homes. Like, people don't promote the results. They don't promote what they've actually done. And whenever I do find an organization that can say, hey, I've done this and we've helped this many young girls get into college. We've put this many men through high school or whatever the case, like whenever organizations can actually promote their results is what I look for. Because like you were just talking about with the operation costs, I remember being in the military, and there's a portion when you're doing like your paperwork and all this other kind of stuff, and they ask you, do you want to donate money, and they'll show you thousands of different organizations, and all these organizations will show you what what the percentage of the operational cost is. And most of these organizations, and I'm talking about thousands of organizations that are on that's on this paperwork, and most of these organizations don't have an operating cost less than 64%. At least 64% is going to, like you said, paying the leadership, paying for marketing, where they claim to be marketing, going to what they claim to be advertising, and setting up these little lunches where they get all these people with money together to come into a room together for them to get drunk and just collect money just for it to
Yeah,
go
the board
right
of
back.
directors are always taken care of, or I don't know, maybe not, or just whoever is holding the purse. Yeah, you're right. They wash a lot of money through nonprofits.
Right.
Yeah, it's I personally, I find it better to have direct effect on the community. Like, the donating to an organization is cool. Like, we do need those kinds of things, but the reality of human beings being who they are, like, what real effect are you going to have on that? I find it more beneficial for me to knock on my neighbor's door because I know that she works 2 jobs and has 3 kids, and go knock on her door and say, hey, I'll look after your kids for an hour and a half while you're in between. Like, I find that to be more
Bingo.
beneficial than saying, hey, I'm gonna give $20 to this homeless guy on the corner. Like, that's cool, but come on, like, we know what that's gonna be. Like, no shade to him, because people be down, but we know what that is. If I give him $20,
Right.
he might spend 5 of it on getting something to eat, but hey, 10 of that gonna go to some liquor. He might spend 5 of it on some weed, and then gonna be right back on the same corner asking for money tomorrow. But
See,
me
one
taking the time to go help my neighbor out, that can have a more lasting effect. And now I'm affecting more than just the mother. Now the kids are seeing someone that wants to be around them, someone that wants to, hey, are you good? Do y'all need anything? So it's having a more effect than just donating money and stuff.
And also within our own families, like, how do we treat our extended family? Or is somebody hurting in our own circle that we're not even paying attention to? Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And see, and this is where, like, you guys are cooking, right? Because I was waiting to pretty much have like conversations like this, because yeah, we could talk about all the charitable acts all we want to, right? And what they do, but what are we doing ourselves to make sure that the people that's around us are good? And so, like, when we was bringing up, like, hey, sometimes you got to knock on the neighbor's door just to make sure that they're doing okay, or even the people in your work environment. What do you have to offer to brighten up someone else's day?
I always find it interesting how people do get stuck in their mind. I'm a mind my business type thing, right? Because the neighborhood that I live in, it's not a bad neighborhood. It's not like there's shootings in my neighborhood every day and police are out here all the time. But there are elements in my neighborhood where stuff happens, like cars get broken into in my neighborhood, like stuff like that happens. Teenagers do dumb shit in my neighborhood. But because of the way that I operate, where I see the kids, like the kids that I know are problems, I'll go find the parents and I'll go talk, hey, what's up? My daughter played with your daughter. I just wanted to introduce myself. Like, I try and do things like that so people in the community can see my face. You might not remember my name, that's fine, but you'll remember my face. you'll remember my daughter's face when you see her walking down the street. So when you doing your dumb shit in front of my house and you see me, oh man, hello, let's move out the way. He just trying to get his, because they know me. I'm just trying to get my daughters in the house. That's it. I'm
That's
respectful.
priceless.
I'm cordial. And every now and then, like somebody will walk past me, hey, you got an extra cigarette, and I'll give them, I give it to them. You know what I'm saying? Do anybody need to be smoking? But that small gesture that goes a long way. Like a small gesture like that goes a long way. Or just being outside. Like I live in Texas, it's hot as fuck out here. Sometimes I'll see the kids outside playing, and I'll go take 7-8 bottles of water out there while they out there playing football, and then I'll disappear. They won't see me again for another week. But when the next time they do see me, oh shit, that's Playboy that stay upstairs. Like the stuff like that, like the little stuff that we can do for the people around us goes a long way.
Boom, invaluable
Yeah,
information.
great information. Yeah.
Salute to Mr. Best.
What's up, Mr. Best?
What's up,
Yeah,
Mr.
I
Best?
didn't even know it was a stream today. Nobody told me nothing. I didn't get a call.
Why you late? No, joking.
Nobody told me shit. That's why I'm late. That's why we usually call and talk about this shit, but
Man, we've been cooking in here, Mr.
No,
Best.
you liked it, so you saw it. I posted in the chat.
You did not call me beforehand and tell me you was doing the stream today. You didn't call me. You know you didn't. Don't even do it.
No, I didn't call you, but I posted on the in the chat.
Exactly. We usually talk about this. You already know what it is.
Merry Christmas, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy Holiday. God damn, let's get the holiday spirit going on in here, fellas.
No, they asked me a question. They asked me a question. I gave them an answer. People want to know. I gave them an answer. That's what it is. What else,
What's up, baby?
But yeah,
What up?
We're talking about the human experience. You know, we're giving our input. I'm being very cynical when it comes to serviceable acts because it's just like, my thing is, like I said, if your heart matches the intention, then I'm cool with it. But people tend to do serviceable things or, you know, put on this event, let's put on this benefit. And then who's getting rich off of it? That's all I want to know. And then we went deeper, right? And so I'm going to let y'all talk because you guys were building over there.
Hey, I want to get a chance to
that is-
answer because I didn't get a chance to answer Sophisticated Jerk's question. When you go on Mr. 84 after you, best in the world.
Salute, Smitty.
Okay. Salute to Smitty. What up? Let me say this. I would say, if you're doing something as if you're trying to, you know, actually really help people, then you kind of know you're taking a chance. Like it's a 50-50 chance that it may work or it may not work. Like you kind of rolling the dice, right? Especially if you're in the line of service. So if you're in the line of service, you may number one, the service itself may fail, and then you may also fail in your attempts. So you always got to be open to that. You always got to be open to somebody, you know, sabotaging something. You always got to be open to it not working. You just got to be open to it. But if you love it and you're really passionate about it, you're always going to find a way to do it. So you may not do it in the capacity with that person or those people or whatever, but you will find your way back to doing that same thing. You know what I mean? So that's the number one thing. Am I living my passion? Am I doing what I want to do? Am I doing what I like to do? And if I'm doing that, I'm Gucci. I'm good. But if I'm not, then that's a problem. So yeah.
Word. I really like what 100 Watts says because I think that's where we make the biggest impact, these everyday things and how it affects our community. And I think that's when you can find true joy and you really do make a difference. Like there's people that have just smiled at me on the road and they'll never know what that did at that moment for me. You feel me?
Okay.
But poke holes in it because I tend to be kumbaya in it. You know what I'm saying? But I just want to keep it real.
No. You keep it real to the real stuff. I was thinking, Stan, you was gonna say something, right?
Yeah. I will say on my end, it's valuable to join organizations if you were blessed by them. And the reason why, you come at it differently because now you run the business side of it and also you as a person that benefited from it. So there's more compassion from you. My suggestion, Sophisticated Jerk and Ruby Doll, and even 100 Watts, like go ahead and join the board of directors. The board of directors are not rich. They're community people. And they have to look at what's going on with the company. Because the board of directors can't be employed by the nonprofit.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
you're
okay. I
right.
didn't know
I
that.
misspoke last time. You're
No,
right.
no, no. But a lot of people don't know. A lot of times, if nonprofit have money left over, it's supposed to go to the reserve. Nonprofits get checked. That's why you see the 65 cents goes to the organization, like for the running organization, is because you get audited like 5 times out the year. So the year for a nonprofit is July 1st to the next June 30th. And within that time, they're getting audited 4 times. So if you go to a real nonprofit that's running the way it's supposed to run, they're getting audited. And you have to show that you're giving more to the people in the community than you what you're spending for the employees. So it can't be uneven. So not saying nonprofits are like all nonprofits are holier than thou or whatever, but I'm just letting you guys know like there's other ways to go ahead and like look at nonprofits and join in and be the inside voice for the community to be the board members because we need more of that. Because if
And
somebody's serving your community, you need to be a board member and know what's going on.
yeah, that's great advice. Thank you, Mr. Stanley Joseph. And also, if you have like a knack for writing and you have good just writing skills, you might want to consider grant writing because the idea of course, you have to have your 501c3 filing or whatever, you're filing with the IRS, but it's worth it because you can write your own grants. And from that money, you can do your own operation. You don't have to join some big ass corporation. You can do your nonprofit can be anything. You can do mittens for babies in shelters or just free a crochet, whatever, get free blankets or something. Things like that. I mean, that's even on a huge scale if you want to talk about building community.
But
Or
Ruby Doll, like,
team up with them grant writers.
but Ruby Doll, what's your
Mhm.
experience about the food, right? And you're a
Mm-hmm.
mom, and
Yeah,
if you're on the board, and you're on the
that
board,
would be
right? Wait, is
that would
somebody's
be it.
YouTube on?
Pardon?
Is somebody
What?
YouTube on? I'm hearing somebody else YouTube. I'm getting an
Oh,
echo.
let me mute mine.
Okay, so like, look, if you gone through the experience in the shelter and you're on the board, you can advocate and go to the grocery stores like Safeway, right? And ask them like, hey, we need fresh milk. I don't know, a lot of people know a lot of supermarkets, they turn over food daily. They do not keep
Word.
the same milk that you saw yesterday. That milk is gone by midnight and is either going to the food bank, but if you're on the board, it'll come to you. I advocate
Thank
for people to
you. That's
join the
amazing.
boards because there's power in the boards. Again, because you are a reflection of the community. We need you to join the board because that's it's not like it's a job or anything. You also interview the manager. If they bring in the director, you interview the director. Because if you want, oh Ruby, can you put it on the mic? Because if you want the agency to grow, right, you get a chance to interview the next director that could go ahead and move that agency to directions that the community needs. So it's important for people to join the boards. It's important for people to know how the local agencies are running and see what part that you play in and how you can grow the agency and also that community. Because guess what, guys? If we don't do it, somebody else will, and it's going to be somebody that don't look like us.
And you can't teach people to care. So if you already have it in your heart to do that, we're already like ahead of the game. I think this is a powerful board. I feel so much energy right here. It's insane. And I'm really grateful for it. I want to take a moment to really express gratitude because you guys are some powerful beings. And I think, real recognizes real. So I'm not discrediting myself. But I feel like this is a start to more conversations and some changed lives. And I think I'm forever changed by this conversation.
Oh, thanks, Ruth.
I appreciate that.
Yo,
And that's
thank
what's
Can
all.
I ask- Oh, I'm sorry,
Sorry.
M3. No, I was just gonna. I wanted to ask a question because a lot of times it's just like, man, I think, like with me, it's just like so many things you want to help out on. So, what do y'all think will have the biggest impact? Is it helping kids?
It's helping
Would you?
everybody that you can. Well, like 100 watts. What 100 watts does, right? 100 watts. What's up, man? I haven't seen you in 2 years, brother. What's happening? Hey, man, what's up? Hey, so like what he does, right? Him, like that daily stuff. That stuff is important, right? Like him bringing out water and him caring. Like he doesn't know that to the kids in that neighborhood who are fatherless, he's planting a seed in them that they're like, okay, when I become a father, I want to be like him.
That's
Even if
how
they don't have a
important it is.
dad, they see this, they like, you know what? When I become a father, I'm gonna be just like him. They get an idea. It's just a seed, right? It's everything that you do every day. It could be like, hey, you know what? I haven't seen my friend in a year. Let me just go ahead and break bread and keep up and make it like 4 times a year, because guess what? People go through depression. Mental health is skyrocket. People think that it's only skyrocket around Thanksgiving and Christmas. Nah, brothers and sisters, it happened in September, Labor Day. A lot of people have been cut off before Labor Day. Imagine like it's supposed to be to celebrate that people have jobs. A lot of people get laid off before Labor Day, and depression goes down, and it's a lot of work. After that, we have to do check-ins, right? Spend time with your nephew and nieces, and like do Christmases. Go to church. Ask them what they need. It's little things. You're not doing anything big. Check out volunteers.org and look at. Wait, somebody's mic on. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
my
That's me, Bruce,
bad.
again.
Is it my bad? Hold on, I'll turn it off.
You just gotta turn on the YouTube volume. That's all.
I don't even know what that means.
Okay.
If you're
I don't know if I'm logged into some, so hold on, let me figure this out.
Okay. If you go to volunteer.org, they have a list of organizations that are looking for people that could do acts of service. So it's say like if you are a DJ, you want to do music, go for it. If you want to teach, go for it. I don't like just pigeonholing people into different stuff, because a lot of times people only want to take care of kids, but guess what? Those kids got to go to adults that also need help, and like those adults don't get help. So you going in only helping kids, it's going to come to kids like, what's the use? Because I would go home to this, and this person need help, and nobody's helping out my mom, my dad, or my grandparents. A lot of times, adopt a family, to me, I think is better. So if you know there's a family that's in your neighborhood that need help, bring them over and do sort of like, a kinship care type of thing, where, if you're a godfather, take that duty seriously, and help out that family, and blend in the family. Because, it doesn't do good if you invest in a kid and they have to go back to a horrible environment.
Oh, okay, I got you. No, I appreciate that, man.
But a lot of times, so Stan, I agree with you, Stan, completely. You know what I mean, 100%. But a lot of times when it comes to our community, we understand that like the people who are actually really doing the work, who actually are really working hard, who really are actually trying to put their best foot forward. You know what I mean? A lot of times we wear those people down, man. We wear them down. You know what I'm saying? And we don't give them any support, but then we want to criticize their efforts. You know what I'm saying? And these are the people that's working hard. These are people that are trying to take care of their family and their friends, and they're trying to take care of different people, and they're trying to take care of the community. But those people we don't want to support, but we're quick to criticize these people. You know what I mean? We're quick to say, oh, they're not doing this, that, and the third right, but we're not even doing even an ounce or even trying to do an ounce of what this person is doing. You know what I mean? So I think that's another thing. And I see it, even within, people I know, even within, people I'm related to or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm willing to work hard. I'm willing to go out there. I'm willing to, work out every day or do this every day. But, you know what I'm saying? They're not even willing to just do the bare minimum. You know what I mean? But yet they want support. Yet they want you to give them this or give them that. You know what I'm saying? I had somebody that I'm close to ask me if I can help them get a clothing, like some clothing or some clothes or whatever. And I'm not like, nah, you're not. I'm not helping you to stunt. Like, yo, nah, you gotta go work. Like, you Nah, homie, like this is not what it is. You know what I'm saying? I would help you stunt if I had it, but I ain't got it like that. You know what I mean? And what I do have, I want to make sure that's used for a beneficial cause. So a lot of time we just wear out those people who actually really do care. You know what I mean? Who actually really do want to try to do something productive. We wear them out, we use them, we don't appreciate them. But then once they're gone or they don't want to help as much anymore, they don't want to help at all, then we're like, damn, what happened to so and so? Y'all wore his ass out. That's what happened. And they got tired and they done moved on. You know what I mean? Or they just focusing on building or being around those people who actually want to build with them and actually, really care about them. They don't care what race they are. They don't even care if they're part of the community or not. You know what I'm saying? So that's what happens. And then people are like, damn, like this person's a traitor or Uncle Tom. But it's like, y'all wore his ass out. Like you literally wore this person down to where they don't want to do shit no more. So yeah.
Yeah, I can
I
help
find
you out with
it.
that one. I can
I
help you out with
find the
that one.
question very, very interesting because, like, environment matters a lot. Because I'm thinking about from the perspective of me being someone who lives in apartments, has lived in apartments for basically most of my adult life. So when it comes to me being able to touch the people around me is easier because I have to walk past these people on the stairs. I see these people at the mailbox, at the bus stop where the kids get on at the bus. Like I see these people a lot closer. So then now I'm thinking about it from the perspective of being in a neighborhood where you have houses and front yards and backyards and people have fences because you don't always see your neighbors because sometimes they go in the house through their garage and the only time you see them is when they're leaving to go to work and coming home from work. So then I'm thinking about in those neighborhoods it might be a little harder to actually touch those people. So I appreciate the question because now I'm warping my perspective to see how I can still apply these same things to me hitting the next phase of my life because me being where I am now, being in the market to buy a home, now I have to figure out how these same things can apply to that kind of environment because it's not going to be the same. So now I understand Sophisticated Jerk's question in a different way after listening to what y'all are saying because it's I in a neighborhood I don't see how somebody can get worn down if you don't see your neighbors. So then it's what kind of exposure do you have to taking care of the people around you if you don't ever see them? You don't ever talk to them. Y'all don't hang out. Most of these neighborhoods don't have block parties. I don't remember the last time that I've had a friend that lives in a house and told me that for the 4th of July, they got a block party going on. Like HOAs aren't doing shit like that. So that's into. I'm sorry to stop the conversation. I just
No, 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 no.
the
That's a
perspective
good
of
point,
that.
and
No,
it's
but
why I'm asking
what
because
he's
it's
saying is true because let me say this because it's kind of you got to mute yourself, Ruby. He kind of thank you, family. He kind of is speaking to like what I said about people getting worn down. Like I think we get worn down too because a lot of time we don't even have the time to spend with each other that we want. You know what I mean? We know the rent be sky high, especially if you live in a certain demographic, right? If you live in a major city or a major market, your rent is high. You're paying more than normal. You know what I'm saying? Or more than somebody who only live in a place where there's only a gas station and a Walmart. Like if you live in an upscale community, anything somewhat upscale or somewhat gentrified or whatever, like yo, your rent gonna be high. So you ain't gonna be having the time to really be kicking it with your neighbors like that. You know what I mean? People just ain't got the time. You know what I mean? They want to kick it, but they don't have the time to kick it. They barely have time to kick it with the people they care about. So the neighbors like, well, whatever. You know what I mean? I'm trying to eat, and I got to make sure my family and everything else eat. You know what I mean? So I got to do overtime, triple time, whatever, to make sure that we good. You know what I mean? So I think people want to, we just don't have the time.
I hear you. Is it still echoing?
no, you good.
Okay, perfect. I just want to build on a couple of things. As far as 100 watts, yo, I live in very close proximity to people. Like right now, it's like closer than close, and I still don't talk to these motherfuckers. Why? Because I don't think it's about the proximity, even at times. I think it's about the level of care. I also live in the Pacific Northwest, and I was discussing this with a friend. Like, why are people so like they're so nice, but they're also like very reserved. Like no one like really wants to kick it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like people are very, very introverted here. And I feel like I'm summing it up to this. A lot of people in the area because we live by a college or a university and shit. There's a lot of educated people around here. If you tend to be, I'm sorry, but if you think you too good for people, sometimes you ain't gonna have time for shit, man, honestly. So maybe there's a humility that's involved if someone lives up in an apartment or shit, but I don't think that it necessarily means it's a proximity thing. I think that we can literally even live with people in our houses that we ignore. You do. And I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was going to just chime in what you said, because I'm going to say like this, right? I know Mr. Best, right? You said about like sometimes it's because of whether it be like the finances or other things, right? People don't have the time. But to me, people make time to wherever they choose to make time, you know? And if people say like, oh, well, because maybe I put X amount of money into like a luxurious type of home, so now I don't have the resources now to create like block parties and all that. I think to me, those are the people that are just saying that out of BS or whatever, because they don't want to make time for the people. And Ruby, when you mentioned about reserve, there's a lot of people. I mean, look, I'm not gonna lie. Look, I'm more reserved like when it comes to my neighbors, but that's only because of my bad experience from previous neighbors from a different community, you know. And sometimes that experience carries over when you're entering like another community, even if it's safer or even if it's, let's say, in a better neighborhood, you may be reserved because you don't want to go through that same experience that you went through with maybe your ratchet neighbors or so. I'm not throwing no excuses, but some people have different experiences probably or different reasons why. But I think if you really want to make time to your for your neighbors, or for anybody, like even within the household, yeah, you'll definitely make time for them.
Now, within your household, that's reasonable. Like in your household, yes, but at times you don't have time for your neighbors. I don't give a fuck what you're saying. You ain't got time for your neighbors sometimes. Sometimes you don't. Like you working, you come home, you want to eat, you want to sleep. You got to take care of the people in your house, right? And let alone if you got kids, that requires time. You got to do their homework or homework. That takes time. You got to prepare for the next day. That takes time. All that shit takes time. That's not like something that you. And then let's say you want to do this shit, streaming, right? You've been on here for 59 minutes. Some of us got to get up in the morning. Some of us I got stuff I got to do tomorrow. You know what I mean? I got business I got to handle tomorrow. Off top. As soon as I get up, I got to get ready. I got to go out. You know what I mean? And then we got to do other stuff on top of that. So it's like it's always something. You know what I mean? And it's not the fact that, okay, I don't want to call so and so, or I don't want to talk to so and so. A lot of times I just don't have the time. Like the time just goes, and I look, I'm like, oh snap, I'm supposed to call so and so at 3 o'clock. I'm supposed to meet up with so and so at this time. Oh damn, I'm supposed to check this email. I'm supposed to send this out. But a lot of times you forget because there's so many things going on. You know what I mean? There's so many things going on within your household, even within your family, that you're just trying to keep it all together. I mean, especially if you're working over 40 hours a week, especially if you're working a certain amount of hours and you're trying to keep things going. Like, yo, you barely have the time. Like, you barely do.
All right.
Okay, hold on, guys. I will be a hypocrite if I say like, I'm not that type or whatever, because I just came from like pretty much almost like a goddamn like 10-hour shift or whatever. Plus some other things like happen along the way as well too. So I get that part. That part I would agree that there can be layers of distractions that you may not have the intent to like, okay, disregard like your neighbor or disregard someone that is like, not a friend of yours or whatever. I get that. It's just that most of the time, because like they're not within that circle, they're not a priority list. So if they're not like a priority, yeah, I mean, anything could come up and then it could be like, well, I don't have time to do this, but still like it all narrows down to like I think it'll be better, but it still narrows down to like being like a priority. So like where it'd be like handling, what did it say? Oh, he'll be right back. When it comes to like handling like business or networking or doing other things, those become the priority of your list as opposed to someone that is pretty much like a stranger to you. That's all I was gonna say.
So what I find interesting about about what I'm hearing is that for me, and to speak for myself personally, outside of my household, the people that mean the most to me, I speak to very little. I speak to them very little. My mother, I get a chance to talk to her probably 3 or 4 times a week. And whenever we talk, it's probably for like 30, 45 minutes because she's working, I'm working, all of that. But it doesn't really require much time for me to get on the phone with my mother, tell her that I love her, be able to feel her energy through the phone, and pass the same back to her. So when we're talking about time, I think people have this perception that you have to spend hours with your neighbors. And I don't think that to be true. Because I'm thinking about it like this. Because now I'm like I said, I was trying to readjust my perspective to being in a neighborhood. And I'm thinking about it now. If I live in a house, I can guarantee you that the neighbor that lives directly to the left of me and directly to the right of me is going to know my name, my children's name. They're going to know what cards, they're going to know all of these things because those two are going to be my first line of defense in terms of having a witness if something is to happen in my home. If someone was to break into my home, my next door neighbor is going to be my first line of defense and being able to say, my neighbor heard the window get broken to. And they want to be able to help because it doesn't require much. All it is when I'm outside and I'm in my driveway and they're in their driveway. Hey, how you doing, Richard? Hey, man, I see you put that new flag up, man. I know the football season, you a Cowboys fan, huh? Hey, man, hey, good luck. It's going to be a long season. Y'all got to kick it like that. Just when you see, hey, how you doing? Hey, tell Mary I said, hey, that potato salad she brought over the other day was fire, dog. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? It don't take a bunch of time. And I think that's the misconception that a lot of people have where you think that now because I'm neighbors with this person, I got to invite them over to dinner and now they got to look at the inside of it. It don't have to be that.
Not.
I just think that I think time does need to be spent because I understand it. I got 57 hours scheduled this week, so I don't got no time for nobody. But at the same time, I'm gonna make sure that when my neighbors see me, how y'all doing? What's up, y'all? Good evening. Everybody good? Cool. Hey man, this has been another,
Exactly. And
something
it's
like that.
really
That's all it
about,
takes.
and I'm so sorry, Mr. Watts. I was like, you just get me so excited sometimes because I'm just like, yeah, yeah. But also, you know who that Trevor Noah person is? He's a comedian and TV person.
Yeah.
So he gave a beautiful example, and he credits his mother, who said that when she would pretty much cut their lawn or cut their grass, she would cut the neighbor's grass. And he was confused by it, but like, why are we doing that? Well, it's because that all affects us. And so I think we get on these bubbles like, oh, I need to be, I got my own shit going on, which is fine because we're all entitled to have our own shit going on. But at the end of the day, if my neighbor, like if somebody down the street is on fire, that don't sit right with me. And I'm sorry, it's ironic being everything that's going on in the world today, but I'm talking about I can actually help somebody down the street. I can't help somebody in Palestine. And I can be foaming at the mouth at what the government's doing and all this shit, but the way I live my life, am I turning just as cold? Am I turning just as indifferent as the world, as we claim that the world tends to be? You know what I'm saying? There's all these songs that are written about how the world's so fucked up. Well, what is our perception? What is our perception about ourselves? And I think also it's very keen for the adversary to attack families, especially, I'm a single mom right now, but that's okay because we don't use that narrative. We still have a village. We're still very village based. And I think we limit ourselves by being like, oh, well, I don't have this or I don't have that. Well, what do you have? What can you offer? We all know what we don't have. What can we offer? And do we even give a shit to offer it? And if we don't, that's fine. But don't claim like you care because you really don't.
All right, mind if I jump in real quick?
Yeah, bro.
Go ahead, Stan.
All right, going to give like 3 points. In Proverbs, there's a proverb that says, it's better to have a neighbor next door than a brother far away. Always get to know your neighbor. 100 watts, I'll tell you a story. When my mom had my sister, was giving birth to my sister, she had to leave me with a neighbor. And guess what? Me and those neighbor kids went to middle school together, high school together. I've been part of the family. I did like next generations. we're there where both our parents are getting older and like our grandparents, death, marriages, everything. And that happened because my mom decided to befriend a neighbor who
I got to
helped
give
out.
y'all some pushback on this neighbor stuff.
Oh no, but it's not all neighbors. It's not all neighbors.
I'm thinking, I'm like, man, it sounds good.
It's
I'm
just
with you
an
guys, but
example.
I'm thinking of my neighbors, and I'm like, I don't know if I can do it, man. I'm
No,
just
but it
got to
worked
be
out
honest with y'all.
but it worked out because here it is, generations. Like my sister went to school with her daughter, and it's like you're looking at a whole generation that's been impactful because of the acts of neighbors that's been kind. A lot of times I don't have time. I'm in the gated community, right? But I do take walks. I walk around. One of the ladies here, she
Shout
flirted
out to
with me,
Stan.
and she called me Hercules, and that became my DJ
Hercules.
name.
Oh, okay.
You like a big bar of chocolate, huh?
Yeah, she throwing shots,
Get
Stan.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she was like,
She's
ooh. She was like, if I was 20 years younger, I would have thrown it back at you. I'm like, okay.
pull up, Stan.
Tell her she can get it now.
Pull up, Stan.
Hey, you better hear the
but you
gigolo,
see,
man.
like they able to see like my own kid. Like they remember her when she was a newborn. Now she's 11, and she's walking around this neighborhood, and everybody was like, "Oh my god, I remember when she was a baby." But you know, like we don't even know these people by name. But it's just the fact that they know, like, hey, it's the Black Mexican family up the street.
That's how you build
Right?
the
You
community,
know,
yo.
that's
Like,
how
Okay.
seriously.
And every time at nighttime, there's an Ethiopian couple. They always walk, and they have their talks. Like it's a couple, and they always walk back and forth in the neighborhood. And I wave to them when I'm going to work because I work graveyard, so I already know I'm going to see them as they take their walks. Because I don't know how many kids they got, but it's their quiet time together, and they take their walks, and then that's it. I don't spend time with anybody. If I see you at Lucky's or at the gym, they like, hey, what's up, Hercules? What's up, baby? I'm like, oh, what's up? And we don't have to be the best of friends, but your neighbors, at least they know that you're there, and your neighbors are there.
Okay, I got y'all. Yeah, because I was thinking 100 watts had me motivated. I was like, you know what? I'm about to go out there. Then I started thinking about him. I'm like, I'm good.
Now, what is something
It's
you
just
did?
an
'Cause
example.
You are a sophisticated jerk. So what you do?
Yeah, okay.
Because I just moved into my community, man. And yeah, they eating bagels and stuff. So, I guess I just got to like get over that. Like, I think a lot of it, I think 84 has some points where, I think people do go about their life, but you could find some time. But I do think like a lot of people just don't want people to get involved in their business. Because I think like we did move away from that community feel like you guys are talking about back in the day where people just get so, I guess, involved in people's business where you're just like, I don't even want to deal with them. So I guess that's how I was kind of looking at it. But like you guys are saying, it's like just simple things. So I think I was overthinking it.
I mean, I look at things like in all perspectives, like, sophisticated jerk, but I'm with you on that one. Like, I don't have time for my neighbors because, like, they're not, like, a priority for me. You know what I mean? Nor do I want to establish a certain type of relation with them. But again, this is based off of, what happened to me before I moved into, like, a better neighborhood. Where in my previous neighborhood, I was neighborhood friendly. Well, mostly because of my wife, but then shit happened. People got jealous or whatever. You get a little bit too neighborly. Next thing you know, you get your house robbed into. Or burglarized. I'm gonna put it like that.
But okay, so let's think about it like this then, right? Think about how much time you spend with the people at work that don't know shit about you. You spend all this time with these people at work and they don't know nothing about you. But the crazy part, you would still take the time to go out of your way to go to lunch and buy this person lunch. It might not be all the time, but you'll end up
100.
come on now. No,
We're
come
cheap
on.
on
So
here.
let's not do that. No, okay. So
in a general
people
sense,
might be
it
cheap,
makes
but
sense.
you get the gesture though. There are people that are at your job that don't know nothing about you that you might rock with in a certain way. Where you'll bring them a cup of coffee. Or you might have an extra Red Bull in your bag or something like that. You know what I'm saying? But these people know nothing about you. But you spend all the time in the world with these people. And then when it comes to your neighbors, again, I'm not saying you got to be best friends with these motherfuckers. It's just a cordial, hey, how you doing? I noticed y'all bought a new car. something, just some kind of recognition amongst each other to where y'all can acknowledge each other and acknowledge each other as actual people. Like there's an actual family that lives next door to me. Oh, you know what? This dude just moved in next door. I don't really know nothing about him, and I'm not trying to know all his business. Let me just go next door. I just want to shake his hand, say, "Hey, my name is Ramon. It's nice, welcome to the neighborhood. I hope you're comfortable. If you want any, if you want to know a restaurant in the area, something like that, you let me know. I don't have to know all your personal business. Just let me introduce myself. You see my face, I see your face. So that way, hey. And I think along the way, as time goes past, that's where the opportunity comes for people to become more involved. For maybe he got some kids that's the same age as the neighbors. I don't know.
Real quick,
Watch
I'm
you
gonna
about that Southern hospitality stuff, man. And yeah. I get it because you're from the South, so I get what you're saying, Watch. And that's what they do in VA. That's what they do in North Carolina. You got to say hello and everybody speaks and good morning, good afternoon. That shit ain't happening in Cali and New York.
See, that's why I think it is 84. Yeah, because
yeah.
But
let me just say this though, right? I mean, I get you, Watts, right? Yeah, like a casual hello, hi, how you doing? And going about your business. But if you're comparing like a neighbor to like your coworker, where you're spending pretty much 8 to 12 hours of your time with them, that's totally different. You already build up some type of rapport. They don't have to get to know all about your personal life because like ain't none of their fucking business. But at the same time, they're gonna know more about you than what the neighbor knows about you. That's the way how I'm looking at it. So of course, yeah, it is gonna be like a rapport just enough for you to say like, hey, or a level of comfortability, I would say, for you to like invite them out for like a coffee date or something, or maybe something out to dinner.
That doesn't sound wild to you?
What between the coworker?
That doesn't sound wild to you. That the people that you really, because how many times have you had? That's a mute point. What I'm saying is, to me, just listening to you say that, it sounds wild because in the house, that's where I take a shower at. That's where my lady is at. So if my lady is home and I'm not, who's holding her down? If my kids are home and I'm not, how is that going? Not that I'm expecting my neighbors to protect me. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. All I'm saying is that if you have your neighbors as a lifeline of some sort, that is better than ignoring them. That's all that I'm saying.
Yeah.
If we're doing all of this talk about, we do all of this talk about stuff because we do all this talk about community and we the Boys and Girls Club and this club and that club, but you don't even talk to your fucking neighbor. If we talk about, that's literally your community.
I think where people are at, they want the community to be over there, and it's like, I want the community there, and I'm here. I think
I'm tired of I want to do something for the community, meaning I want to go back to the hood. I'm tired of that shit because that seems to be the correlation. No, that's that.
No, I mean like the community is like over there. I mean, when I say over there, what I mean like this: the community, and that's like my neighbors are over there, and I want them to stay far away from me, like arm's distance. I think that's the attitude with everything where people are at. Well, I'm here. I agree with what you're saying because it look like everybody's at arm distance with everything, but at the same time, they want to give to the community without giving themselves.
Yeah, and I'm with you on that part. That's why I'm like, look, let me just be straightforward and be honest to you guys. Where mental, Ruby, hold on, I'm gonna have to mute you real quick, dog. Sorry, but let me just be. That's why I rather just be upfront and honest. Like, hey, like, yeah, we talk about community, we talk about building. We talk about the people around us, but again, there's layers within ourselves where we're in a dark hole or in a dark space where we don't really give our time to the people that is close around us. And I'm not talking about close as far as close in our hearts, but close in our proximity, where it's like, okay, if our neighbor is struggling with something, will we be neighborly enough to go see what's going on? Will we be neighborly enough? And I know we're using the neighbor term a lot, but these are actually cutthroat examples of where we stand at. You know, so then the question now I have for you guys is that okay, when we don't have time for our neighbors, or when we have excuses not to see our neighbors, where we stand at? Does that make us hypocritical when we're talking about building community? Like, or should we not talk about building our community if we're not even building a small rapport with our neighborhood?
Look,
I like to go on record and say I'm a hypocrite.
M3 trying to be nice about it, man. M3 trying to be nice about it. Look, I'm gonna keep it G. Look, man. I don't wish my neighbors no harm, man, but fuck them. All right, I'm gonna be completely honest. Fuck all of them. You know what I mean?
I think I'm 84 of this, man.
You know what I'm saying? Because
I feel 100.
They wasn't. You feel me, jerk? They wasn't with me like a couple of years ago when I was really not feeling well and I had to work on my health for shit. Nobody offered shit. Nobody helped me do shit. None of that. No doctor's visit, none of that. So fuck them. Now that I'm healthy and I'm getting healthy, I'm about to stun on these bitches and I'm about to get my money up and I'm about to move to a different community. Like straight up, fuck all of them. Like honestly, that's how I feel. And I'm not even gonna lie, but I still want to help at a soup kitchen or something like that. Like I still want to do that, and I still may help at a tow drive. But the motherfuckers around me, fuck them. Like that's honestly how I feel. Literally, and there's nothing that's gonna change my mind.
So you have
I like that.
Can I give a response real quick?
Yeah, go for it.
Because I think with me, I live in a pretty good neighborhood and stuff, so I think that's why I don't worry about them. So I do want to help out, like I'll say, a different community. So maybe I just need to just say I want to help people, but I don't want to help my community, if that makes sense.
Thank you. And you know what? The only reason, and the only reason why I was not talking about the people in my proximity here is because I had to do a fair housing complaint on one of these. And it's and what I mean when I'm saying neighbor, I'm like when I go outside of my building, I'm building with the people at the liquor store. I'm building with the people at the cafe down the street. Where, that's my community and those are my neighbors. So it doesn't have to be just your neighbor, like your next door neighbor. I think we're using the term so literally when it's an example, number one, and our neighbor can be our community that we're trying to build. What do we belong to? So yeah, I mean, I don't get along with the people next door to me because they're snobs. That's it. That's different.
Look, that's why when I talked about it.
Point.
I was when I talked about this like earlier, you guys, right? Like, hey, like it don't even have to be like say like race or orientation or someone in your close proximity. I did say that earlier. It's whoever you choose, right, to pretty much to serve. Whoever is looking up to you for guidance. So, hey,
or who you want to serve.
Wait a minute, I gotta say this real quick. What's up, Miss Ocean? I gotta say this real quick.
What's going on, Miss Ocean?
What's up, Miss Ocean?
I got a neighbor that's right across the street from me. I kid you not, like clockwork. If I open my door, he opens up his garage door. If somebody comes visit, he opens up his garage door. So he just spies on me all the time, right? One time
he like to.
That's what he does, and it's like okay, whatever, right? One time he was carrying something heavy and it fell on him. Kids just walked by, laughed, and just carried on. I just went across the street and helped them and just told them, like, look, I live across the street. Knock on the door if you need any help carrying something. It's okay. I can't be big for nothing. So just call me if you need help carrying things. I can go ahead and just like, yo, like you do this to me all the time. But guess what? No, I just didn't do that. And 100 watts, look. 100 watts.
He did it. What you just do?
100 watts. You there? Dude, you are Papa Smurf. That's who you are. Don't let us discourage you. You are Papa Smurf. It's okay. Be Papa Smurf in your neighborhood. You be that person.
No, I respect what he's saying. I'm gonna give it a shot. I just don't want to get cussed out by the guy with the sweater like wrapped around his neck. I think that's what my biggest fear is. So 100, if that happens, I'm.
I mean, look, I'm saying, look, if nothing else, he might cuss you out, but he might give you a 10-minute head start before he called the police if you jogging through the neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? At least that. He might give you a head start.
If it happens 100, I'm coming back, and you're gonna owe me an apology.
No, don't. Join my side. Don't join 100 watt side. Join my side.
No, look.
Come to
Please,
light.
I do understand. I do understand that my perspective is very southern. I know that my perspective is also coming from the fact that my mother raised me in a village. My mother made sure that she had friends that was in close proximity. That if somebody saw me doing some bullshit, they was gonna be able to snatch me up and bring her and say, "Let me tell you what I saw your son doing." I know that that's where my perspective is coming from.
Oh, okay.
And I'm from the
And I think
South
that
too.
now I think that
Yes.
now a lot of that, my perspective now is being a father. I want to be able to have the same thing for my kids. I don't trust everyone. I'm not expecting everyone to do it. I just want to be able to know that there are certain lifelines that I can reach to once I deem that they are worthy enough to be held at that regard. I want to be able to have enough people that I can be able to say, okay, these three are crazy. This one's cool. This one's all right. Like, I want to be able to have options to be able to move around, because if I'm 10 minutes late getting home from work to get my daughter off the school bus, I need to be able to text, hey, yo, she should be getting off the bus. Just look out the window, make sure she walk into the house safely. Like that, I don't need you to do nothing extra. Just look out the window and make sure she get in the house safely. That's all. I don't need you to go
You
unlock
Papa
the door or
Smurf.
nothing.
You Papa
Just little shit
Smurf,
like that.
man. You Papa Smurf.
I'm thinking, because and I was thinking earlier, like way earlier in the conversation, it was a lot of talk about intent and where people's heart is and all that other shit. My intent is solely to protect my household. That is it. That is my only intent. Now, the side effect does come where people are friendly. You know, I might build a few allies in the neighborhood. Like, those are things that might come along with it. But I promise you, my intent is solely to protect my household. When I go take this water out to these kids out here, I know that they thirsty as hot and it's cool. But I'm telling you, it's only to protect my household, because I want these little nappy-headed motherfuckers that break into cars to know that, hey, he one of the cool ones. Hey, that's his car. Leave his car alone. Go get the next one. It might not always work. It might not always work, but hey, at least I have a small chance. My intent is solely to protect my household, and I know the best way to do that is to be a part of whatever is going on. So
That's
sign
pretty
me up
smart.
for neighborhood watch and all that shit.
I'm about to be passing out cheese platters in my neighborhood. I'm taking some notes.
Nah, brother, you black. You gotta do barbecue. You gotta do barbecue. No cheese platters.
Hey, make sure you got some Kool-Aid though, okay? Make sure you got some Kool-Aid.
Miss Oshun, welcome. Miss Oshun, you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Yes.
How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I finally I woke up a little while ago and I seen y'all was live and I said, oh my God, I'm missing it.
Well, we're talking about being leaders in our neighborhoods, and how do you participate in leadership and building communities in your neighborhood?
That's a good question. And you already know I'm gonna say something. Y'all ain't gonna like it.
Please share.
Okay.
Well, I'll say this, right? Y'all know I'm from Baltimore, and but I don't live in Baltimore. You feel me? I live out in the burbs and shit right now. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my community that I live in now is full of people that I don't know culturally. I'm worlds apart from, and the only thing we share is the fact that all of us are making over six figures and we live in certain types of housing, and that's about it. I don't talk to nobody. They don't talk to me. You feel me? They walk their kids to school. I drive mine because I don't trust nobody.
See, I like what she said. I'm with Miss O'Toole on that.
That's just a reality.
Yeah,
That's fine. It's the thing is, I'm sorry, the thing is, and I really agree with that sentiment. I do very much the similar thing, but my thing is, like the community, like let's say there's a real let's say I care about bunnies, right? That's like my thing. I will join a community that takes care of bunnies, and I think that's my way of giving back. Maybe I don't want to do a neighborhood book club, that's fine, but what do we care about? We have to care about something aside from our busy lives and our bubbles. That's my only point. And then my only point with that is when we do attach ourselves to something, where is the heart and where's the intent? That's it. Because I've been very alarmed by the human experience, especially when somebody does something in the act of service or of community giving. You know what I'm saying? One thing that really left a bad taste in my mouth, and I love him to death, is The Rock's little escapade with Oprah when they made money off of the Maui disaster. And my thing was, I'm okay with moving your monies around. That's not a sin. But what I'm not okay with is you making yourself look like some hero out here. And shame on you, Rock. The Oprah, whatever. The Rock, you have island blood. You have family that have lived in Hawaii. Your mom does the hula on your lives. You know what I'm saying? Like, you guys bank off of our Polynesian dances and all this shit, and that you have these Samoan muscles, but you could give a shit about what happens at the end of the day. And that's where I'm saying, as a community leader, I'm looking at myself. I don't care about what people are doing. It's like, Rue, aside from taking care of your kids, what more can you do? And it doesn't matter that somebody's videotaping me do it.
But see, this is one example that I want to point out, right? Let's say, like, okay, this is like how you feel about what The Rock is like not doing. But what if he's doing something for the community, but we don't know about it because he's not advertising it as what other people would do?
Well, he should be advertising that instead. And why is his property still intact when Lahaina has been blown to smithereens? You feel me? Like, things like that. I'm just saying, if we're talking about community and building.
Hold on, Ruby doll. 1 second. KMA, is that you? Hello?
Oh, okay. That's it.
Hey,
what's up, KMA?
But M3, that was a good point, because say if he was like advertising what he was doing and like putting it out there, would you kind of gig him for doing that then? Because sometimes some people they're in a no-win situation, so that was a good point, M3.
Thank you, Sophisticated Jerk. He's asking you that question.
Yeah, Ruby. Like, would you have, say like Rock was like, hey, look, I'm doing this. He's showing the receipts and stuff. Would you have like be like, no. Oh, why is he always showing that?
No. The fact that he pulled that Maui, all you people, bring your money for this Maui fund when y'all could fund that whole operation. What the fuck is you doing what are you exploiting our people for? I'm sorry. That was a little emotional for me, but I'm just talking about, that's what I'm talking about with this human experience. We're so like, what can we do to make the world a better place? But what are your intentions?
First of all, show the human experience by expressing your emotions and don't apologize. Ruby, so keep on expressing and don't apologize.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Stan. Hold on, Stan. Hold on. I'm gonna take some advice you gave me a few years ago, Stan.
All
right? And maybe you don't remember this.
Are you putting the fool?
No. I was crying about family, right? And I was like, Stan, my family don't pick up the phone. You said, man, hey, don't worry about them. Get your money up and then keep it moving. All right.
Stan said that?
Listen. Yeah, he did say that. Stan did say that. You know what I'm saying? So look, you got to get your money up. You want people to care, get your money up.
And they come in like flies.
Yes.
Wide open. And you hear Sir McLaughlin singing, "In the arms of an angel."
Don't forget the flies in the eyes.
Yeah, you get your money up and you continue popping up.
It's actually kind of true.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I say, if anybody in your family drop off a kid in the summer with that vanilla envelope, you have just adopted a child. Don't do it.
Right. Guys, let me get KMA, because I know she's in the building right now, all the way from South Africa. KMA, what's your thoughts? Talk to us, KMA.
Good morning. I'm cracking up because even with we did see a lot of like the the stuff that happened in Hawaii. I saw Oprah and The Rock. I'm like, now they're making another country look like Africa. Look at that. I won't lie. I'm not gonna lie. I was very happy because for once it wasn't us. We know. I know. My family's worked very closely with Norwegian college or university. They came to donate every year through a political person, affiliated person, that the money touched his hands before it came to the community. At least my family got a community run school, but let's not talk about the other amount that he probably has in his pocket. But they come every year or every 2 years and they take pictures. We used to have to put on a whole show for them and be like, yeah, this is where your money's going. So when I saw that, I was like, we've seen this movie before. We know how it goes.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
We can hear you.
Okay. The other thing I'm sorry, I got cut off. The other thing I wanted to say was that I know that a lot of times we feel like celebrities should give back to the community because they have influence or money or whatever the case may be. But I'll be honest with you, it's kind of hard for a celebrity to give back to a community, and certain racial groups, it gets real, it gets real sensitive in terms of what they can do, because there is that spot, that donut hole spot that a lot of celebrities fall into, that Jerk was talking about, where if he say he doing something, people don't trust it. If he don't say it, people never trust it. So it's celebrities, that's a difficult thing to really judge in terms of what they can do to give back. I know Oprah does what she do, but I'm gonna be honest with you, being in the top 1% of the top 1%, nobody frankly gives a crap about what you doing to give back to anything. Like, that's technically, if you're not doing something, maybe you got mental problems. But really what I care about is the bottom 90%. What are they doing to give back? And a lot of times I think we talk too much about celebrities giving back, rich people giving back. What are people giving? Not giving back, but what are people giving to their community that live in that community? And this is why I do understand why when people get out of said community, they don't give nothing, quote unquote, back, because when they were there, nobody poured into them, because nobody's giving to the community. In the community, there may be a few people who may be part of that ilk, but it's not enough for people to really feel it like that. I know back in the early 80s to around mid 80s, this is when the elderly generation was looking out for every single person in the community, and you couldn't do nothing without it circulating. So therefore everybody was everybody's back. But that elderly generation died in the late 90s and early 2000s. Literally, they died. And my father's generation now are the elderly ones. But these are the boomers. Okay. So, and they're dying off now too. So, let's be honest about what we don't do in said community. I know for me, I didn't give anything back to my community when I was there, because I had to cuff my kids to the radiator and they couldn't stand next to the windows, like in the house. Like they don't know what it was to play outside because it was too dangerous. And there was no markets around, and it was just slop everywhere, and the air was poor. Like, I could go on. Like, so it's like at the end of the day, the people that should give to the community are your local council persons that know what's going on the ground. But they are making too much money, okay, to care about that. Never mind your senators. But it's like the people that live in those communities are thinking strangely, meaning, what are the celebrities doing to help us? It's like, no, what are you doing to protect yourself? What are you doing that shows you have integrity as an individual when it comes to your community? As a parent, you should know where your children are at all times. Your child should not be 11 years old. You in the house as a parent, and let's say it's 11:45 at night and they ain't in the house. There's no reason for that, because here's what you're doing to your community. That 11-year-old is out there doing something he don't got no business doing. and destroying said community while doing it. So you being okay with that is you taking away from your community while you jump online and say, what are celebrities doing for the community? Frankly speaking, get the fuck out of here. I don't care. Like, I really don't care. And this is where it comes down to, if you can get out, save yourself, because people there don't have no integrity and no morals. They just don't. It's a few people left, but it's not enough to really make no impact, which is why we're talking about it. But truth be told, I hold individuals accountable that talk. You see what I'm saying? I'm bold enough to say, when I was there, it was a jungle, and it wasn't a jungle for me to sit and try to change. Now that I'm not there, I do what I can do based on my talents that feed my people, not my community, my people, because my community where I grew up at was full of my people. But now that I'm away from it, I interact with my people all over the world through this apparatus. I don't really interact with my people in person too much anymore. Like, I work around, a lot of people that don't look like me. I live around people that don't look like me. So this is a different world we're living in. And that's all, honestly, that I can ask of someone else. Like, whatever your talent is, whatever you were born into this world to do, what are you doing? Are you walking in your purpose? And that's really the extent of what I can ask from somebody, whether I'm talking about community or not. And most people are not walking in their purpose, let alone giving back to anybody. I know some people who their purpose is to help the homeless, and they're walking in their purpose. You see what I'm saying? And they're changing lives, and you can see it when you come into their life. But then there's other people who don't know their purpose. They working at the local store, and honestly, they don't really want to do much else because they're not really driven to really work hard. What are we talking about? This is what I'm saying. Like, we do need cashiers, don't get me wrong. But if you was born to, basically run a fleet vehicle type of business, but you too scared because, whatever's going on in your life, at the end of the day, what good are you? You ain't no good. But it is what it is. But I'm just saying, give to your community, sure, but let's really talk about what the people talking here, are giving to your community. Like, I don't really want to talk about celebrities because I don't know them. And like Jerk mentioned, I don't know what they do in the dark. Clearly, a lot of people doing shit in the dark. I don't know what people doing in the dark, but I know what the people that I interact with do and what they don't do. Like, I can ask everybody up here, what you do in the last year that helped your community, that contributed to your community? What have you done? Like, and everybody can say yay or nay. I can't call the rock and be like, oh, what you do? Like, that's not realistic. So I like to keep the jar cookies where everybody can reach. But I digress.
Man, I like that picture, sister. I like that picture. No, I mean, that's dope. I don't know who did the art, but that looks dope. I think you did it, but it looks dope, KMA. I'm with Miss Oshun, man. And I'm torn because I love to give, I love to help people, but man, you know what I mean. But look, it's crazy because you gotta really use discernment nowadays, man. Because like I said, like, people will run you dry. They'll run you dry and ragged. You know what I mean? As my grandmother would like to say, they will run you dry and ragged if you let them. So you just gotta use discernment, man. You gotta use discernment and just try to help as much as you can, but you can't help everybody. So that's the only way it can be.
I feel you though. I mean, by default, man, I love to help people. And just to kind of put it out there too, if you guys can hear me well, because I am on the road driving. I got promoted to help people, at my space of duty. So I'm ecstatic, man. That's like a lot of responsibilities, a lot of stuff that I have to do or whatever. But at the same time, I also got to be cautious because I'm not speaking bad on people that I work with or whatever, but you're going to have people that's going to take advantage of you. If they see any kind of weakness, which i.e. is supposed to be kindness. So you got to have a balance of how you conduct yourself, how you spend your time, and you got to make sure that you don't get burned out by the end of the day, where you find kindness to be part of your resentment. I digress.
But I like what Miss Oshun was saying, and I forgot where I was watching this one time, and they were talking about like how people would like, send like a money to somebody in prison and stuff. But if somebody from like the neighborhood will go to like college or something, nobody puts no money on their books, tuition or anything like that. And that statement just stuck with me because it's so true. Like, the people that's doing the right thing never, get the assistance from like a lot of communities and stuff. But yeah, let somebody like go up north, what we used to say up in Brooklyn and stuff, we do be like sending them money, holding them down and stuff. But yeah, the kids that was like going to school and stuff, man, we never really like, pay no attention to them. So it makes you think. Like, I like what Miss Oshun was saying.
Yo, that is the absolute fact. It's sophisticated, jerk. Because like when I was trying to go to medical assistant school, and I needed help with getting a loan, then nobody wanted to sign it. And I was working too. I had a job, and I was trying to go to school, and they still didn't want to help me. You know what I mean? But yet, people who are in prison or in jail or whatever, they get all the help. They come out of jail, they get parties and all types of stuff. You know what I mean? They get treated like they done saved the community. All they did was bring destruction. But these are the people that we celebrate. It's so backwards, man. And then we get mad when the people that, like I said, the people that we run ragged, we get mad when they don't want to really rock with us like that. You know what I mean? Because we haven't appreciated them. We appreciate them when they was there. You know what I mean? So some of the people that are back home, they get mad. Why you don't call? Why you don't do this? Why you don't do that? Best because when I was there, you didn't appreciate what I was doing, and you wasn't trying to help. So yeah, that's just what it is. You know what I mean? Like you didn't appreciate it, so it is what it is, and you didn't help me. So that's just where it's at. And people don't forget, man. We don't forget. You know what I mean? When people do us well, and when they don't do us well, we don't forget.
Well, on that note, Mr. I think sometimes we can kind of just be a little non-creative in the ways that we can appreciate each other and contribute to the greater cause, right? Like for instance, if you got, well, let's say you have let's say a plumbing business, right? You're a contractor, you have your license, you're a plumber. Let's just say that. The way you can give back to your community is you can open up, let's say, 2 apprentice programs within your company where you train 2 teenagers out of high school to get their certification in plumbing. And that way, when they finish high school, they have something to put on their resume that will bolster them into the industry where they won't come in making minimum wage because they have certification. They have it through a legitimate source. Unlike, the Indian community that do that, but they be lying and stuff. You can give back to your community in that way. Like some companies might be small. They don't have scholarships to give to students to put them through college and stuff like that. You might not be making that kind of capital, but what you can do is give a student or someone that, for instance, if they just got out of jail and they're in a program, you can open your job up to people that have certain types of backgrounds where they're limited in employment, so that you can give back to your community that way, so that they don't re-enter the penal system because of non-work. These are things that you can do when you have not celebrity status, but just normal statuses to give back to your community. Like it's small stuff. Like, I mean, I could go on, but I think for real, when you talk about appreciating each other, right? Sometimes appreciating each other does not involve doing no big stuff. It just don't. Sometimes appreciating each other is just speaking to someone, saying hello. Sometimes appreciating each other, even if you in the street life, is just respecting the fucking game. If you out there selling your little narcotics, understand, if it ain't your fucking corner, yo, don't start no beef. Like, don't do it. It's too much land out here. Like, do something else. Like, even, I'm just saying, there's ways to get around stuff. And, I mean, if you really need to do something real extreme, I mean, just don't, as they say, don't cause no harm. Even if you can't do anything good, just don't cause no harm. Like, if anybody asking you to pay for nothing, just don't cause no harm. I know for me, like my dad, y'all might know, I've talked about it before. He hires contractors a lot, right, for work. and he's always competing between white boys, Spanish boys, and black men, right? And a lot of times he be wanting to go with the Spanish people because they the cheapest, right? Because they don't have the same overhead. But he sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes he'll go with the black contractors on the strength that he know they do good work, and they cheaper than the white boys. But he will forego paying a cheaper price on the strength that this is a brother. Let that dollar circulate within the community and do business with another black business. He will do that. But if he does that and find out that the service ain't good and stuff, then he not gonna go back with that business. He just gonna complain and figure it out later. Like recently, he had that same situation where he like, look, I can't beat the 80% discount. Like, no, I gotta go with the Spanish. But usually he don't. So I mean, and I've learned through him that, you know, coming from where he's coming from, born in the 40s, yeah, like black people, when their back was up against the wall, literally, they understood how to work together. Now that they have this sense that their back ain't up against the wall, they seem to act like, oh, you know, we forgot. But trust me, the slightest thing that can go on can teach people how to, you know, work together. And it don't take much for that to happen. Like for instance, COVID. If the government wouldn't have gave out them loans and them payments, people would have learned how to work together for real and how to save real quick. But the government was underskirting you. So in a sense, you really didn't feel the brunt of when everything shuts down. Like some people did, but like me, I did. But I know most people did because the government didn't want a total, a total shutdown of the country because it would take them too long to come back up. So I get that. But again, it don't take much. But if you can't give the little bit that you can give, I'll be honest with you, don't give anything. You know, like seriously, like it ain't gonna happen anyway. But it don't take much. Like we talk so much about things, but in reality, we're arguing over small shit. Like really small shit.
That's a fact. Gotta thank the homie Manic Genius for the $4.99 super chat. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. You know what I mean? He says, facts, we celebrate bad behavior. No one cares about you in the community, so you can provide something for them. That's true. That is definitely true. You know what I'm saying?
But I do like what Miss Oshun was saying, because I mean, as far as like you said, giving people skill sets, you know, I think that's the biggest thing. Because I think a lot of time people just want the resources, but they don't want to get the knowledge and stuff. So I like what you were saying. Yeah, your dad's definitely a saint. I would have went for the lowest price. I can't lie to you. So shout out to your father. I would have been at the Lowe's hollering at the Hispanics. You know what I'm saying?
Like, hey, yo, Poppy, hey, yo.
Yeah, my father said that the other day. He was like, he went to the people he know, the white guys, and they hit him with $4,500 for a job. Then he went to a couple other people he know. They was like, well, you know, we'll give you $2,100, $2,300. He went to the Spanish, and they was like $700, and he was like, yo, he couldn't find his credit card quick enough. Like, damn. Okay. He felt bad though. He said he was like Tilly, I felt so bad, but I couldn't turn it down. It was $700, and I was like, Daddy, you know why it was $700? Because 99% of the crew was illegal, and I don't give a damn. It was $700. I was like, all right, Dad, all right.
But I do agree with you. I think we are overcomplicating a lot of this because, yeah, a lot of times, man, I be listening to the community talks and, you know, it go from like, that's why I do agree with like a lot of the stuff 100 Watts was even talking about. Just, you know, doing basic stuff. But, you know, it turns into like, man, we need a nuclear plants. I'm like, man, who the hell is going to fund that stuff? So we just way overcomplicate that. So I like what you were saying, Miss Oshun. Yeah, it had me thinking.
You
it's
know,
like we got to start from the basics.
Pretty much, we gotta start from the basics. But keep in mind, I know how it feels though, because it seems like we starting from zero while other people around us is like centuries ahead, and rightfully so, they are. But at the same time, we can't skip the line though. Like we can't. Like that's impossible. We can't skip the line and say we want to be where, let's say, the Chinese are at when it comes to how they stick together and what they doing and stuff like that. When in reality, the Asians, they own at least 30% of America, period. And most of their dollars is circulating like too many times in their community here and overseas for us to keep up with at this juncture where we're at. So, and it's like they didn't come to this country the same way we did, and they're not leaving the same way we did. Like it's very different. So it's like, yeah, we can sit and say, well, what about them? Look what they're doing, but their history and this situation is not the same. And the thing is, we didn't come up in this country sticking together. I'm gonna be honest with you. When Plymouth Rock landed on us, we were already divided in so many ways, and we were bred to be divided, and now we're still trying to get together. People don't understand slavery was going on since the year 800. Like you see what I'm saying? Like, for real, that's when it really started, and then it kind of took steam after about 700 years. But it didn't just start in the 1400s. That's not what happened. So it's like that. You talking about a long time, and slavery just ended 150 years ago. You think what all of that was built up over almost 1,000 years is going to end in 150 years? You think that all of
I told somebody that, Miss Oshun. I told somebody that the other day. I said the colonizer and oppressor been studying us for a long time, from the days of Hannibal. You know what I'm saying? The Moors and all that. Like, this ain't nothing that just started happening. You know what I'm saying? This something been happening for a minute. They've been researching us for a minute. So of course they know us better than they know ourselves, and a lot of times because they've been researching us for a minute. You feel what I'm saying? So what you're saying is spot on.
And look at it. You know how, like, that analogy where they talk about being in a jail, waking up in a jail and not knowing it's a jail, and then being given the keys, yet you can't leave the premises. That sort of scenario. That is exactly kind of sort of what we're in right now as in America, for our community. Like, we can leave if we want to leave America, we can, but we're always tied here. And frankly speaking, a lot of us don't want to leave here because we really don't have a home elsewhere. We don't. We're hated for one reason. We're hated for either being American or being black, one of the two. And it's like everywhere we go in the world. So, you know, a lot of us don't want to venture out and leave, quote unquote, Plymouth Rock, because Plymouth Rock seems to now be the only resource that we have, when it was literally the devil just 150 years ago. Seriously. And keep in mind how close that is to us right now. Like, I grew up in the house of a man who was born on a plantation that my family worked for. I grew up in that man's house, smelling his clothes, looking at the relics from that plantation. Like, and that's only 2 generations before him. Actually, not even 2, because his father was born a slave. 1 generation ahead of me in that way. That's how close slavery is to us. And that whole mindset that went into breaking us and keeping us apart. So, you know, at the end of the day, I don't blame us for acting the way we're acting. That's why I'm not upset that the community ain't giving back or giving to itself, because I know where we're coming from. All I'm saying is, let's keep the conversation where everybody can realistically have it at, where we're talking about our own individual responsibility when we get up and we want to talk and say, hey, who's not doing this, who's not doing that. Like, yeah, we can talk all day about our opinion of celebrities, but we can't really talk about our opinion of ourselves amongst ourselves. We're judged by our peers. And being judged by your peers is a different thing than being judged by, you know, people who ain't even in your tax bracket that you'll never meet in your lifetime. That's a different conversation. So that's why when I have this conversation, I like to have it like mano a mano. I like to ask, well, what are you doing? What haven't you done? How are you contributing? Like, what's going on, to people that can hear my voice, like, right now. And that's just how I live my life. Like for real. I try not to complicate things, but even if something is complicated, I try to deal with it from a practical viewpoint. And this is in part, Mr. Best, you know, this is why I don't really do the whole celebrity thing all the time, unless I'm bringing it down to a practical. Like, I just can't do that. I can't do that. You know? But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody might not agree, but y'all know I'm disagreeable.
No. I understand what you're talking about. Like, you know, and I'll say this: the thing that just keeps me humane is, you know, the fact that there's things that I love to do, whether it's on here or my PlayStation 5 or just my career or just just a thirst for life. Like that keeps me humane. But if I was to rely on the people next to me or if I was to rely on my family, I'll be a fucking monster. And at times I struggle with that. You know what I'm saying? Because motherfuckers can't even pick up the phone. They can't even give you a hug. They can't even say hi. So yeah, of course you will, you at times struggle with that. Like that's a struggle for me. You know what I mean? Not to become just a relentless monster that's just only focused on money and just doing the fuck he wants to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that's a hard thing not to do. It is very hard. You know what I mean? And the only thing that, like I said, the only thing that makes me not turn that switch is because I've done it before and it was some bad results. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to turn that switch because I know if I turn that switch, I'm going all out. Like I'm not even gonna care about nothing. You know what I mean? And I'll just do what I need to do for me, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really want to turn that switch because I just feel like just bad shit will happen.
I mean, I think sometimes if we are being honest, right? Some of us only are called to contribute to our community by what we don't do, and maybe what we may share with each other that we don't do. Like, if you practice your life a certain way and you share your knowledge and what's good about how you practice your life, that may be what you're called to contribute to your community. Whereas your people, your immediate family will learn, well, you know what? I don't have to sit and be ratchet. I don't have to sit and be broke. I can actually, let's say, focus on something and actually get someplace and enjoy the process of getting there. A lot of people don't understand that the goal is not to get rich, because when you get rich, the new goal is staying rich, which is harder. It's harder to stay rich than it is to get rich. It just is. So you can't skip the line. You can't. Like that's why when people hit the lottery, they lose their money. Most of them lose the money and they broke in 3 years because they skipped the line hard. Only a certain ilk of people can hit the lottery and turn that into generational income. You see what I'm saying? Not a whole lot of people. So this is what I'm saying. When you come up in the trenches, when it comes to getting someplace, sometimes the best thing you can be is an example to your community. And that's all you need. Sometimes that's really all it takes. It's just to not be a asshole. That's it. Or a terrorist, as they say. That's all you came to do. Do you do? But you don't have to sit. Everybody don't have to be Oprah. Everybody ain't called to do what Oprah doing for anybody's community. That's not what that is. But if all you can do is be an example to your family to say, hey, you know what I mean? You don't got to sit and go off and be a dope boy. No, like right now with me and my not my siblings, because I think I'm the only one that's actually graduated college. But me and some of my cousins, you see what I'm saying? We're the first generation to actually be the example in the family that no, you can actually live a really nice life just by being dedicated in one sector. That's it. And moving up in rank. That's it. You know what I mean? That's it. Now, we have examples of former family members that have been the worst examples, and thus I see it the ripple effect in the family. Sure. But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes if your contribution to your community is you doing the right thing and staying diligent, doing the right thing because you know it's the right thing, period. And that's it. That's your contribution. Some other people's contribution is to open up businesses and give each other jobs. Other people's contributions is to do shit like Oprah and shit. But know your fucking lane. That's all I'm saying. Know your lane. And my lane right now is just to do what I've been doing. Yeah, I mean, setting that example for my children, for my grandchildren. You see what I'm saying? For the rest of my family. I mean, I come back home, people ask hey, what you doing and stuff like that. I tell them what I'm doing. You see what I'm saying? I tell them how I did it. I always tell people information is free, and somebody gave it to me and I benefited for free. So I'm not going to charge you to tell you the game. You want to know something that I got knowledge in? I'm going to tell you. You want to know how to move through these federal streets with certain types of money? I'm going to tell you because I learned it for free. So that's how I give back to my community. But it's again, you got to know your lane. But let's not focus on money all the time, because money isn't the only resource out here. It just ain't.
Well, I agree with you, Mr. Shun. Well, it's that time, boys and girls, for us to close it up. You know what I'm saying? With that being said, holla at us. You know what I mean? We have a show tomorrow on the Intellectual Soapbox. You know what I mean? Come check us out over there. You know what I mean? Most of the people here will be there as well. All right. So yeah, definitely come check us out. You know what I mean? We rocking and rolling. You know how we do. With that, y'all, peace.
Knowledge and relationships.